sir, and uh, Ambassador Rajesh Sachdeva, sir, he is the chairperson of the Center for Roma Studies and Cultural Relations. Under his guidance, this institution has been functioning since 2018. So, and obviously, as he mentioned, that he served in North Macedonia and Bulgaria as an Indian ambassador. So, sir has a wide experience and knowledge. And so thank you very much, sir. And I, on behalf of Center for Roma Studies and Cultural Relations, I welcome you all to this Zoom room for attending the 47th virtual lecture of the Roma Lecture Series on the theme of exploring the wedding customs and other rituals of Kalderash group of the Roma community. This is the very important, this ethnic subgroup is a very important and one of the largest subgroups of the Roma community. So it is a very interesting, and this community is also considered to be the very traditional. So I believe our today speaker, Dobromir, he will touch upon the different aspects, especially the cultural aspects of the Kalderash sub-ethnic group of the Roma community. So Dobromir, he is native to Bulgaria, and but living in London right now. And he is a committed Roma rights activist and has been tirelessly working on the Roma causes in London, in United Kingdom, in Bulgaria, and other Balkan countries, and has been also the part of the varied projects to help Roma society in Europe. Uh, by study, he has studied the Bulgarian law from the University of Sofia. So, and for the last, for the last uh, 10, 15
10
years,
years.
he has been working for the Roma cause, and his father as well.
Yes.
All the father, the family members, all of them, they are championing the Roma cause and the Roma rights. And but however, the today's subject of the today's lecture aims at getting around the cultural aspects of the Kalderash, which is the most traditional Roma subgroup, and they still maintain and practice, the ethnic rules, the customs, and the values specific to their traditional lifestyle. And their it means that their values and their the rules and customs and traditions are recognized as a model by the various ethnic groups or subgroups of the Roma community. And besides Kalderash, there are numerous ethnic subgroups which also hold importance in the Romani society. A few to mention, like as you all of you are aware of, that's Kale, Sinti, Ashkali, Luvara. These are the very important groups. But the Kalderash and Kaldera means Kalderari. This is the very important, one of the very important groups. And generally, they speak Bala dialect of a Romani language, which belongs to the West Indo-Aryan language branch. And they still preserve and use the old vocabularies because as you may be aware, that's a lot of innovations and introduction of the different words from the or different lexicon from the different countries. They incorporated in their languages, in their dialects. But the Kalderachi, they are somehow using this old terminology, the old words when they speak and interact with their family members. And as well as they still keep the the coppersmiths techniques and styles. So despite the modernization of this, despite the globalization and modernization, they still keep the coppersmith techniques and styles within the remembrance of their ancestral descent. Especially, it is the it was or is still it is the very traditional vocations for this subgroup. And today, as topic is to rituals and the marriage and the another means customary laws of the Kalderash community. So the speaker will elaborate and deliberate on this particular aspects. However, I would like to mention a few. After that, our speaker will speak about, and that is the uh, the wedlock among this particular group, means Kalderash, is deemed to be a binding force. Why I'm speaking? Because it has a relevance with India. It is a out and out connected with Indian wedding system, but I don't want to go in detail. This is the reason why I think to point it out, because you can find a lot of changes in a different countries. Roma practice a different kind of wedlock, wedlock customs and all. They go to the church and all. But this community, they enjoy and they solemnize the marriage in a very traditional manner. So most of them, I think that they don't go to the church or municipality for the registration of their marriage, because still they have they marry early. But now there are changes. Our speaker will speak about this, and it is still the endogamous. Their marriage, the weddings are endogamous, and endogamy is ideally practiced by this ethnic subgroup. So, and the Kalderash Roma has its own way of dealing with internal conflicts. They don't go to the court or the the they don't go to the magistrate or magistrate office, but based on their community's codes of conduct. So, especially based on the notion of honor and shame, they deal with their own internal issues or internal problems. So they deal with on their own, and being a very close, they are very close to each other. They hold the the kinship, or they hold the uh, descendant line and patrilineal line, means in a very close way. So, and they have a very strong ties, and the conflict resolution process involves everyone. So they have the Chris, Romani Chris, and they organize and they deal with that. So our speaker will speak about this. So here I would like to stop, and we are very much interested and in listening to our today's speaker. Thank you very much, and I request our chairperson, Rajesh Sachdeva sir, to please proceed this lecture.
Thank you, Zameer, for the very detailed introduction. Now I would request Mr. Shyam Parande, Secretary General of the Antar Rashtriya Sahayog Parishad, for the welcome address. Shyamji, floor is yours.
Namaste, everybody, and I welcome you all to this lecture. ARSP has been organizing a monthly lecture for almost 4 years now. And this itself is an achievement of a kind, because we have got speakers from so many countries, and we can boast that most of the speakers have done research, have studied the issues well, and have spoken elaborately on the topics they presented. Antar Rashtriya Sahayog Parishad, based out of Delhi, serves the Indian diaspora as and connect with them culturally and socially. So I welcome you all to connect with ARSP. We are planning to have a conference which is not yet getting finalized, but will be done this year surely. With that in mind, you are all welcome. Namaste.
Thank you very much, Shyamji. Now, before handing over the floor to the speaker, I just thought that I'll request him also to touch upon a news report which was in India sometime back about wedding market in Bulgaria. So basically, maybe in his wedding rituals, he could touch, because there are some misconceptions about that also. So it will be good to know about that also. Thank you. So now I request our speaker, Mr. Dobromir Trifonov, to take the
Yes.
floor on the topic of exploring the wedding customs and other rituals of Kalderash group of Roma community. Floor is yours, sir.
Greetings to everybody, dear brothers and sisters. 𝒊𝒔𝒂𝒊𝒎𝒓. I wish you all the best. I'm really happy that I have the chance to speak in front of you. Dear brother Ratan, Rajesh, Zameer, thank you to you that you give me again that opportunity. First, I want to apologize that I don't have that skills to speak so academically like you. So, as you know, I already make some 10 topics that I want to speak about. And thanks to my son, which is left on me, we make it so we can send it to you. And I hope that you can read it, the most topic information about what I will talk about. You always can, I hope that Zameer have that information. You can always hand it over to the friends who are here on the window. But however, because I can't, like I mentioned, speak really good and loudly, like in English, and there's a lot of academic words there, my son, he will speak about these 10 topics on the surface, on the top of the surface, what I will talk about. And then with my words, which is more like street word, like normal, I will try to explain you most of the stuff in my way. And I hope that everybody will understand what tradition and culture we have. So, and from time to time, he will push me a little bit because, as you know, my pronunciation of some of the words will be not correct, and he will help me to tell the right pronunciation. And now, Brother Zima, I believe you have that information that I give you, yeah? So here, he will read it in front of everybody now. And after that, I will speak. This is my son, Ilya.
Good morning, 𝒊𝒔𝒂𝒊𝒎𝒓. I'll be talking about Kalderash, Kalderash Romani family structure and marriage traditions. First, family authority and social structure. In Kalderash Romani families, authority is held by the patriarch, usually the oldest male family member. He is responsible for major family decisions, including marriage, education, and economical activities. Traditionally, the Kalderash were skilled craftsmen, especially in copperwork. In modern times, many have moved into construction, as well as professions such as law and politics. The Kalderash are considered one of the Romani tribes most successfully integrated into wider society, while still preserving strong cultural traditions. Second, upbringing of children. Family upbringing places a strong emphasis on morality, respect, and responsibility. Boys and girls are raised under different expectations. Girls are generally expected to marry within the Romani community, attend school until the family elder decides otherwise, and avoid social venues such as discos or taverns, as well as extensive use of social media. Boys have more freedom in education, social life, and public spaces, but they are also forbidden from marrying outside the Romani community. Thirdly, marriage age and preparation. Marriage usually takes place between the ages of 16 and 20. In certain cases, marriage may occur later if the family elder approves of, or if the girl expresses her wishes to choose freely. The preservation of ethnic identity and cultural continuity is considered one of the most important goals of marriage within the Kalderash community. 4. Marriage selection process. When a boy is considered ready for marriage, his family begins visiting selected families, usually through informal, non-binding visits over coffee. These visits allow both families to observe one another and assess family values and morality. If interest continues, a second visit follows, during which the young man may meet the girl face to face. Both individuals must agree before the process moves forward. 5th, formal negotiations and consent. If mutual agreement exists, the boy's family enters formal discussion with the elder of the girl's family to request permission to ask for her hand. The girl is then consulted directly and has the right to accept or reject the proposal. Only after her consent do the families proceed to the official engagement phase, which includes extended family and relatives. 6. Bride, price, and historical context. The tradition of giving money during marriage negotiations originates from ancient practices, similar to those of ancient Roma, where financial guarantees ensure adherence to marital obligations. Among the Kalderash, the bride price is not a commercial exchange, but moral and constructual guarantee. Although the money is given to the girl's family, it is usually passed on to the newly formed family. 7. Criteria for determining the bride price. The price is determined by the girl's family and reflects several factors, including her age, education, morality, family reputation, personal qualities, and appearance. The financial capabilities of the boy's family is also demonstrated through this payment, symbolizing honor, responsibility, and social standing within the community. 8. Material roles, and responsibilities. Marriage comes with clear defined responsibilities. The husband is expected to provide financially, respect his wife, and care for his children. The wife is responsible for managing household finances, raising children according to family values, caring for elder relatives, and maintaining the family moral integrity. In some families, dress codes, such as wearing a long skirt or head covering, are required for married women. 9. Conflict resolution, the Romani Kris. Marital and family disputes are resolved through the Romani Kris, also known as the Meshere. This is a council of impartial elders, usually 3, 5, or 7 members, who are not related to the families involved. Their primary goal is reconciliation, family unity, and the long-term stability of the marriage. Lastly, cultural preservation and success. The Kalderash place great importance on preserving their traditions and protecting their community from external influences. Through structured marriage customs, collective responsibilities, and elder guidance, the Kalderash report a significantly higher material stability rate compared to mainstream society. Their long-term goal is to strengthen these traditions and continue to take pride in their cultural identity. Thank you.
Okay, guys. So basically, he said the 10 topic stuff, and I will go a little bit more deeply in that. And again, apologize for my bad languages, but I will try to be as much as I can to understand me. Maybe I will repeat myself a couple of times, and I will try to be quick. So firstly, as my son mentioned, the patriarchy of the Roma Kalderash is the family, and especially the oldest male in that family. Basically, he decides what will be the business of the family. As we mentioned, Kalderash in that time, there was a craftsmanship, making copper items. From there, the word Kalderash, which means copper pot, coming from. Because in the ancient time, we was doing that. But in modern times, we turn ourselves more into the construction industry. At the same time, many of us going into more higher levels like a law, even a politics structure. It's important to know that the Kalderash is one of the tribes that have integrated to the best of the society, because we don't use the government as a help. We never waiting the government to help us. We're so good in that what we do that we trying not to trust and to have the benefits of someone else. From this, I will say some rules regarding our boys and girls. Basically, the girls have certain rights and responsibilities. Unfortunately, the girls little bit have more responsibility than the boys, which personally I don't like it, but as well I like it because this saves us as a community. So the girls, in principle, do not have the rights to marry outside of the Roma community. The only obligation is she to go to school as long as the elder of the family decide when she is ready. Also, they know a special rights, special rights to participate in social media. So the other thing that she doesn't have permission is to have a social life in the social media. It's forbidden, like a TikTok, Facebook, and so on. They can attend, like I mentioned, school, but in terms like up to the point, up to 20 years old, is not a problem she to go to school. To higher education is not a problem to go to school. After that, she also can go to school, but it's choiceable because the elder can decide. And also they can dress, the girls, they can dress up whenever they want in their family until they get married. Usually, like I mentioned, the marriage is between 16 and 20 years old. Most important is that things is preserving our ethnic culture as much as possible to preserve the Roma ethnicity. Why I say that? Because we don't believe to the outlanders, outsiders. We have name for them. The name for them is the word gajo. The word gajo refers to anyone who is not part of the Kalderash. I highly rate the Kalderash because that's mean even if he's a Rom, but is not in, doesn't have the same right as the Kalderash have, because in Bulgarian, as I mentioned you, there is also different tribes that do not fall into that category, Kalderash, but they also called Gajo. So what I mean, if he's a Roma but not a Kalderash, he's again Gajo. If he's a Turkey Roma, he's again Gajo. So if he's not a Kalderash, he's a Gajo. He's outside of our communities. But the Kalderash itself, they are spread in another 5 subcastes. So this is the mainly what I personally know. Again, guys, I'm speaking what I know. Maybe I'm not really correct everywhere. Maybe I misunderstand somewhere, but this is what I was being teaching from my parents, from that what I learned. So I know personally 5 subcastes. One of them is the Lainesh, which ideally we thinking that they come from Serbia. The other one is the Nitsulesh, which ideally we think that they come from Romania, Turkey, and Greece. Another subcaste is Dudulania, which we think that they come from Romania. Another subcontact is Jeplesh, which they come from Turkey, Romania. And lastly is the Nyamtsur. So every single subcaste different aspects and different relationship between the families. We can always be united with the marriage in these 5 subcastes, but however, like I mentioned, every subcaste have different ways to life. So most of my family is the lineage, which actually we was doing the copper pots. And the way how we treat the daughter-in-law is the way how we will, is the difference between our castes. So the most important for us is the daughter-in-law to be very clear, to be very to clean her house, to have respect to our families, and to have trust in her. Same like Nyamtsur, which he coming actually from Austro-Hungary, from Germany, which may be called like a Sinti. They have even bigger respects to the daughter-in-law. These people, they was doing like managing a new production, like alchemics. They was doing new machinery, new techniques. So with that, they know them in the people. Other society is the Dudulania. So for them, we know that they are farmers. Most of their families, they are going on the field and have a lot of animals that they're taking care. So they expecting their daughter-in-laws to help them with the farmers. Now the Jeplesh, which are coming from Turkey, Romania, they are selling gold. They own most of the golds and they're going everywhere, sell gold. And they also have big respects to the women, but sometimes they are more concentrate to make the money than to respect the girl. Now, the Nitsulesh have little bit bad reputation because the respect to the girl-in-law is not so high like we do. For them, most important is how the family will make the money. And doesn't really matter how they will do it. With the construction, with the selling gold, with the field, on the field, whatever. But the most important things, the young couple to make as much as can afford money. That's what is the difference between our castes. So just to let you know, and this is one of the topic. Now, I'm backing to the girls' responsibility. So the girls in the most important element of the morality for the preserving the Kalderash as they truly are. Because like I mentioned, Kalderash from our clans can come to a girl who is eligible to marry. On the other hand, the boys have a bit more freedom. They can go to and have the right to study much more than the girls. In terms of social medias, they have great deals of freedom. For establishments like taverns, discos, the clubs, they don't have a restriction because the girls have a restriction. One girl cannot go to a disco club. She cannot go to a pub or something like that. But the main rule for the boys is that he cannot get married to an outsider. The elders decide together in one family when it's a time for engagement. Usually this decision is always made for the boys, but not for the girls, because the girls need to wait till someone else from the Kalderash family come and want her hand. Because once father of one girl, he cannot decide, let me give you my daughter for a bride. Only the boy decide where to go to take her bride. This is one of the main criteria to decide which exactly family to visit. The age of the young, like I mentioned, is between 16 and 20 years old. And once the family decides that is ready, they starting to going on view. What I mean, usually the older people going around, especially to the designated families, and most often they go to a evening views. That's most oftenly is a coffee usually. This coffee is non-binding and doesn't entail any action towards either families. But thanks to that coffee meeting, the family gets seen the girl, and then the family council decide whether they can proceed to a next step. This is the moment when information is bringing to the boys to introduce the girl and showing if he will be in future agreed or not, and whether likes the girl, so he can officially request her hand. After the boys decide that he is agreed, it's time for second coffee. But this time, the boys present on this coffee, and then he can see the girl face to face. If he still like the girls, then the boy's family takes further steps. The boy's family enter into a conversation with the elders of the family of the girls' families. The conversation most revolves around whether the boy, along with his family, can officially come to ask for the girl's hand. From that point, the girl's family asks the girls herself whether she agreed with the decision to have them come and to ask her hand. So the girl has the rights to choose who can come for her. If she is agreed, then they move to official part of the proceeding. Because before the two sides of the young couples meet, this time not only comes the families, but also come relatives of the families, bigger group of the families, when they can come for that meeting, where they can decide the engagement. And now, from this engagement, before I carry on, I want to bring you a little bit history here. So, what we mean the ancient Romani, this is like ancient empire of the Roman culture. In ancient Roma empires, I'm talking about the Roman man. Usually, to get married, he was giving something like, example, 100,000 sesterces. The woman also gave that 100,000 sesterces. This money was collected to third parties in order to pass it on, and the money was kept as a guarantee for upholding the material terms. From this comes the concept that the price is a guarantee for adhering to the terms of the agreement, because you will think twice about making the mistake in marriage, because if you do such a mistake, you will lose the money. And accordingly, the money will be given to the party who didn't make the mistake. So that means we're trying to keep that tradition even to today's date. Giving the money for the marriage proposal is not like taking a loaf of bread from the grocery store. This is a measure from ensuring the terms of the contract, the marriage contract. Generally, the rules of the marriage are similar here. The man is supposed to provide for his family, to provide for the children, not to going out anymore on establishments like disco clubs, pubs, to respect his wife, to love his children, and most importantly, to earn enough money to meet the family needs. For the girl's perspective, the rules are a little bit more. When it comes to the bride, the
aforementioned
rules also need to be respected. A bit more specifically for her is that she needs to raise her children into a proper way that the family patriarch allows, to establish a good at managing and family finance. So she needs to be really good in the family finance. At the same time, to take care of the oldest member in the family. Generally, in the Kalderash tribes, the boys or the girls has the rights to wear whatever clothes they want as long as it's permitted by their family's elders. But when she becomes a daughter-in-law in that particular family, she obligated to wear a long skirt. In some cases, if the elders want, she need to wear a cloth on the head. That in turn depends on the elders. There are specific duties such as sending the elders to the family as well as receiving the spouse. Originally, ordinary household chores like cleaning, cooking, especially important for the woman. The most important thing is to uphold the family's morality. This is the moment when the actual price of the bride has been determined. Keep in mind that the boy's family give quite a large sum of the money, for the girl's family. This money, although is given to the girl's father, he then give it to the young couple. So the father of the girl give that money back to the young couple. But the most important thing is actual the amount that is determined by the girl's family, and then the girl's family needs to hand it over. So the price is determined by the girl's family based on her moral of the family, and consequently, and this affects the value itself. The girl's age is also taken into a consideration. It is of principal importance that she has not been touched by another man. It is important whether she has attended school, how long she was attending, how literate she is. The girl's beauty, which is being assessed, is also particular importance. If there is any other qualities that they are also taken into account. The giving of large sum of money demonstrate the capability of the boy's family. This show how well off they are financially and that they can afford to do something like that. After this action, they boast in our community and show their pride and honor that they can pass to the young couple. The synergy of the young couple the young couple's responsibility. The synergy of the young couple's responsibility is important, especially to be friendly with the other relatives. Now, when we talk about other families, keep in mind that the Kalderash have a quite different clients, like I mentioned. Apart from that Kalderash, in that tradition, the other subcaste like I mentioned, they have more or less engaged in some moral activities that which the Kalderash feel ashamed to even call Kalderash. Because in every group, we have people that they do bad things, and unfortunately, the other society always see the bad things that they do, and they put everybody in in one category. That's what I want to say. In general terms, the most important things is that the price is determined by the quality of a child. The more expensive it is, the high quality of the things that they say. So both families take pride of the young couple. At the same time, if the girls do not meet the qualities that have been assessed and given by her father, so let's be say the father lies something about her, or she is not the correct thing, the correct person that they was wanted, then the father is obligated to return part or the entire amount of to the boy. On the other hand, if the boy does not meet the criteria, then he has to pay extra to the father and has to, or the father has to have, sorry, or the father has the right to take her girl back without returning any money. This relationship and marriage cases are resolved in our so-called meshere or Romani Christ. Our meshere is basically a gathering of several elders, usually odd numbers like 3, 5, or 7. And it is exactly they who decide their own on their own declaration a given marital matter. They are not related to the families, and accordingly to their life experience, they assess and decide what fate should be. They decide whether additional money should be added, whether the family should be dissolved, or some new principle should be established that the two families need to follow. But the common thing is the most important principle of the meshere is the reconciliation between the two families. It's important to be proud of our families, not to allow outsiders to come and to destroy our tradition we have built over centuries. There are risks that we measured and problems are resolved with aim to keep the marriage impact until the end. Because if in the normal society, the success of the marriage is about 30 or 40%, for ours, the Roma, the Kalderash, that success is more than 80% because of these traditions. As I mentioned, you can see we have the risk that we're taking, so to prevent that young couple to be separated. Families from both sides helping. If they can't help both sides, then the measure comes to help. But the most important is that family, the young couple, to have the success of their marriage. And we hope that this 80% in future will increase the success rate, and our goals is to be a proud Kalderash. This is the main thing that I want to explain you. Now I can answer a lot of questions if you have. I hope that you understand me completely. Again, sorry that my English not so good. Maybe I repeated myself a couple of times. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dobromir. Basically, I was just wondering, what you are saying is the custom which had been there from a long time. That's a tradition. Has
Yes.
there been any changes with the modern times, in a sense that when you said that are the boys and the girl allowed to date, or the concept of love marriage is being accepted in the society?
Yes. As I mentioned to you, because we are 5 clans, and depending every single clan have his own decision how to proceed further. The most conservative people are the Nitsulesh, are the Zhuplesh. Now, we, the Lanesh, the Dudulanya, and especially the Nitsulesh, we are more liberal. More or less, we give more freedom to our children. At the moment, my daughter is 17 years old, and if someone come to take her hand, I will not allow that, because I want she to finish her school, even the high, not the university, or how call it, sixth form? Not the sixth form, after sixth form, what is
University.
the university. I want she to finish first her university, and after that, if she decide that she is ready, then I will allow someone to come for her. So this is my way to think that is better for my family. Of course, every family depending what rules that they want to follow. I want my children to get married into my society. I really don't want, I really don't want they to get married to a different type of the society like Gajo. But we are in modern times. If the love come to them, this is my way. I can say yes, because I'm not so old tradition. I wanted to keep it, but I don't want to push so hard. I really like it, but if it's not possible, it is what it is. Most important is the happiness of my children. Some of the clans, like I mentioned, especially Nitsulesh, especially Zhuplesh, they doesn't allow so much freedom. That's why I'm told you that they're a little bit more tough against the rules. They want, especially conservatively, only our people. They doesn't allow the children to go outside.
Thank you. Now I see Mr. Parveen Tandon, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Sachdeva. Thank you. In fact, a lot of questions. In fact, you have raised a lot of questions, then answered.
Yeah,
I
of
have
course, I'm happy to
a
answer.
list of 6. I have a list of 6 questions, but whatever you can answer. The very first one is, I'll just enumerate, and you can decide to answer how many questions you wish to. Number one
Yeah.
is, as you said, that the girls are married between age of 16 to 20, as I
Yes.
understand, after their studies are completed. But suppose some girl wants to study even further, what is her position and how she is allowed? Number one. Number two, let me finish the questions first. Okay.
And let me write it, because I will forget, please. Hold on.
The further study of girls after age of 20.
Yep.
One. Second is, you have not answered or not elaborated on the situation of girls being involved in businesses, owning a business or job, doing job, or any other work other than agriculture, of the daughter-in-law in fields, that's all. So you have not elaborated on that part. So please elaborate on their involvement in jobs and businesses. Number three, God forbid, if some girl become a widow, what is their your customs of widow marriage?
Oh, sorry, what is that?
Widow widow marriage.
Too much time.
If a girl's husband, if a girl's husband passes away or dies, God forbid, is she allowed to remarry, or a boy is allowed to remarry? I do not know. Please elaborate on that part.
Okay.
My fourth question is: after a female is married, and after, I mean, she becomes an elder in her own family, in her own right, what is her role or her say while deciding the future of their offspring? Means when their son or daughter is of marriageable age, is it just the husband or the male of the family decides, or the girl or the wife has also any role in that? My next question is, which is not related to. I mean, I just wish to understand the rituals, as I told Jamir earlier also, but it is not pertaining to this topic. What are the rituals at the time of birth of a child, and what are the rituals Romas follow at the time of death of some person?
Okay.
So these are my questions. Whatever
Okay.
you wish to
Yep.
elaborate, please do.
Yep. So for your first question, when I say between 16 and 20, this is the age which most of us we prefer our children to be get married. That's what I say. So some people they like their children to get married on 16 years old. My son is 16 and I still don't want he to get married. I will decide that like 18 or 20. That's what I mean. So between 16 to 20 is the age where they decide to get married. Of course, doesn't really matter after that. She can get married after 20 years old, when she become 30, 40, as long as she want, as long as people coming to the girl's father's family to want her hand, she's free to say yes. And this is coming to the second question. Doesn't matter if she was get married once, even and she divorced. Of course, she can get married second time, as long as someone decide to go to that girl and wanted her. Of course, she can be married. But the only difference is, let's be say, in the first marriage, if she was being married, the price of the bride will be quite lower from the first way to the second. This is the only difference, but doesn't really stop someone to come. And actually, after her first marriage, the girl's father have a little bit more freedom to the girl, because he can say, okay, you was been married first time to the Roma. Now, if you want, you can marry to wait till someone else come. That's actually they do. And if nobody comes, then she have the right to marry to a normal societies. And this is like most people doing actually. And even many times I met people that they didn't have that luck, someone to come to their houses to want their daughter for marriage, because that's what I say. To up to 20 years old, she's still on school. She want to have a career. She want to be a businesswoman. Nobody stop her. It's all depending of the elder, of the boss of the family. If he decide, okay, you study till 20 years old, that's it. I don't want you to go anymore in school because I'm afraid if you're still going on school, you will meet someone there and you will ruin my reputation in front of all the Romas, and you will go get married for someone else and you will make the mistakes. That's all is the afraid the elders to leave their daughters so long to school. But if he decide, but this is rules depending on the families, and most of them they said, okay, go do whatever. And if you have a luck, if my reputation, that's why I said, in Bulgaria we are something like between 5 to 10,000 people. We know each other. We know our families. We are all related, like second, third, fourth cousins. So we know which family, how they react. We know how they live, how they save their morality. So because of depending of that, we decide where to go. So we know that guy's family, his daughter going to school, he is a good person, and then we decide to go to him to take his daughter to be a married. But if didn't have that luck, he have the chance. He can wait, or she can do whatever she like. This is where she have the. This is my answer to your next question, because she have all the rights, and even when she become a daughter-in-law, she also have the opportunity to study, because the father say, my daughter, like I will say, my daughter, if someone comes and she's like 19 years old and she still study, but some come to want my daughter, I will tell them, listen guys, my daughter need to finish till 22 years old her high education, not high education, the university. And I will tell them, please do not stop my daughter. I can give it to you for bride. I can give it to you to be your daughter-in-law. And they, of course, they can say, most likely they will say yes, and she still can go to study. And if she have a career, she still can go to carry on her career. Actually, like I mentioned in this 5 caste, every caste have a different way to treat the girl, because especially the Nyamso, especially the Dudulania, we the lineage, we like our daughters-in-law to go to school. We like our girls to, our daughter-in-laws to still have a career. So both of them, the boy and the girl, in future, they can hand over, because we always living together. I'm not me particularly, but because my father is in Bulgaria, but most of us, we living with our fathers, our mothers, grandfather, grandmothers. So the older, they taking care of all the children. So the young people, they are free to go to work, whatever they want to do, whatever they decide is better for their families. So nobody will stop somebody to work and to do whatever he decides in his life. Hold on, let me see what else.
Wife's role in the decision making.
Come again?
Wife's role. I just have
the wife's role in the decision. So yeah.
Just a minute. In your last question, the widow marriage, you explained what are the rights of the girl. How about the boy? If a boy gets widowed, does he or what are their rights, and what is the situation over there?
So once she become a wife in one family, basically, like I mentioned, the oldest person in one family, 80% he decide the way of the family. Now, of course, every man is ruled by his wife. So yeah, whatever the wife say, that he do. Is the same situation. So if my grandfather have, let me say, 70% of the votes in our family council, everybody have the same votes, but he have little bit more powers. The same is with his wife, with my grandmother. The same is with my wife. So if this is not right at law, but actually we follow what the girls say. We always collaborate between us.
Okay.
But mainly the elder one, he is the decide of the. If he say, I don't want you to do that, or I want you to do that, if he wanted, he can force it. But this is like, I will say, before 20, 30, 40 years. Today's date is not like that. We heard them what they say. They push us to do the correct things. And if we are clever, actually, if you are clever, you will follow what they say, because they will never think the bad for you. They always wanted the good for the family. They will never, they will never think something bad for the family. So it's really good, me, my son, the young, to follow what the old say. And this is this is our tradition, to follow what the old say.
Okay. Okay. And my last questions were, please, I mean, if you can, please tell us about the rituals followed at the time of birth of a child,
Oh yeah,
or
yeah,
and at the birth of death in the family, please.
yeah. So when birth comes, from that what you heard, you see that more or less. I'm not proud with that, but also I like it, because this keep us as a culture, as a nation. More or less, the females have lower powers, have lower rights, have much more responsibility. So we prefer the girls, the young couples, to have boys in our families. We love the boys, so we want to have a boy. So the happiness is much bigger when a young couple have a boy, first one. We are happy as well with the girl, but much more we happy with the boys, because he is entitled to get the legacy of the family. He will be the boss of his family. So whatever we do, whatever fortune we done, we always give it to the younger. We always give it to the smaller. And even from that, I will tell you one another secret. If, like me, I have two sons. If we have two sons, one of the son, the biggest one, he will need one day to separate from my family to gather his own family. But until he get married, I will not allow him to be separated. Once he get married, once he have a children, I will give him permission to separate from my family. Until that, until I see that he is good, he have the right way, he will not separate from me. And all our money, my money, his brother money, will be together in one until he separate. Once he separate, then I will just guide him. I will tell him how to, but the capability, the main thing is his own. My earnings, my stuff, after once he take his family out from my family, all my stuff will be always to the younger. So this is one of the tradition. We always, I will say it in bad words, we always kick out the older one, we always keep the younger one in the family. And the younger one, the youngest male, we give all our legacy to him. The older one, he must to make his own. And that's so when he's born a male, we want as much as possible more males. And we're really happy with that. And there is no special ritual about that. When it was before, a long time ago, when was they were given a birth, if it is a male, we're going there with the whole orchestra, with the eating, drinking. My mother, not my mother, my grandmother actually told me, when I was born, my grandfather go to the hospital with the whole orchestra outside, coming inside with a lot of food, with a lot of drinks, giving to the whole hospital. It was madness. So today's date is not like that, but before it was like that. Now, when we come to death, so the procedure is really interesting because we do our tombs for our people. So every single family, when unfortunate happens, we help them if they can't afford, but we really build a nice big tomb where we put the dead man inside, and we cover it with a lot of money. We cover it with the best suit. We make his tomb like a place where he living, and we make a lot of money we put for that. Unfortunately, because of that, and because many people know what we put inside, they are burglars that they going and destroy that, and we are not so happy with that. But unfortunately, that's happened. But when some die, we not like the ordinary. We put a lot of stuff there, and we trying how he was in the life to be the same in the next life.
Anyone
Okay.
else with a comment or a question?
I have one.
No, no,
I have a very
just one explanation, please.
Yes.
You said that if you have, I mean, if a person has two sons, how about if a person or a couple has just two daughters? What happens then?
That's really good one, because we have a lot of people having more than 2, 3, 4, but no still men. My cousin, he's 45 years old. He have 7 daughters and 1 boy. So from his 18 years old to the 40 years old, every 2, 3 years, he was having daughter until he have a boy. It's important to have a boy so you can give your legacy. But if you can't, it's not something that your family stopped working. If you can, you decide which daughter you like more. If you have 1 daughter, or if you have 3 daughters or 2 daughters, you decide which daughter you will not give that daughter to another family as a daughter-in-law. You will say, this daughter will be my daughter that will stay always with me, and whatever people come to me, I will tell them, guys, I can give you my daughter just for wife to be your daughter-in-law, but she will stay with me. And actually, your boy that will get married to that girl, he need to stay with me. So the price there will be 0. Maybe he will need to pay. So it depends of the situation. But most of the time, if he choose 1 girl, he will stay with him. Or actually, I see many that tradition was changed a little bit. They living together on both families. To the father, to the girl's father, to the boy's father, they always move everywhere. But their son, if they have a son, so imagine like you have only daughters, but your grandson, if one day you have grandson, that grandson, he will be the man in your family. Because like I mentioned, you see, we married quite young. I am 36, my son is 16. So to 50 years old, I will have already grandson. And if to 50 years old you have a grandson, then he will be the leader of your family next. If you didn't have the luck to have your own son, you will have a grandson, and then you can proceed the same way how you do for your son, to give everything to him.
Okay, I understand now. I understand. Thank you, Mr. Trifonov.
Jamil, the floor is yours.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Parveenji. You raised the very pertinent questions and thus, it clarified my two very simple and the very pointed questions. The first is about what is the stand of Kalderash on marriage by abductions and elopement? How the Kalderash community, how the Kalderash ethnic group considers such kind of marriage? And the second, the bride price. You are well aware that the anthropologist and a sociologist, they consider this, the bride price uh, system as a buying and purchasing the human, right? So they have the very derogatory kind of notions about these traditions and customs. So how you means especially in your community, in your group, this the how you consider and how means you give how you justify such traditions in the modern time, because in the modern time such kind of systems seem to be anachronistic, means very irrelevant or unacceptable. So what is your take? That's my two questions. Thank you very much.
Okay. Because I understand your second question, the first one I will ask you again. Now, for the second question about the price, like I mentioned, this is not something that you go to the shop and buying and you have the entitlement of that product. No, this is just symbolic. This is just to show that, let's say, I am a man. All my life, I'm working for my family. All my capability is to give as much as I can for my family. So, of course, in every Kalderash, in every group, there is a black sheep. I can't allow black sheep to come to my family, to want my daughter, and to give it to her. But I can't say no. I want to be more diplomatic for that. So, because I know that they're black sheep, and because I know that they're thieves, they are stealers, they don't do proper way, and I know that they are so poor, but anyway they're trying to cheat the system. I will tell them a price that is not affordable, so they cannot come and take my daughter. Of course, if I like the family, I will say, okay, the price will be something normal. Of course, that money I will give it to them back. I will give it to the younger, but this allowed me to choose which family can come for it, and this is you finding the correct people, because if he is not well known, if he is not capable to pay that money, so he actually have problem in his family. I can mention you the Kalderash. We are one of the richest people in Bulgaria, Romas. We have the business, we have integrated, so we know how much we can afford. We know how to deal with that. So I want also my daughter to be well known, because let me say another guy who have much low morality, but he sell his daughter, let me say, for £20,000. And I will say, why his daughter sell for 20,000 when I know my family is much better than his? I will say my one for 50,000. And again, I will want this money from him, even if he doesn't, if I like the person. But we need to work together. But this money need to be shown to the society that my daughter costs £50,000. So this is a great, this is a wonderful, this is something that I can show off to myself. You see, I'm so clever. My daughter is so beautiful. My daughter is so best that she costs so much money. But this money, I don't take them. They, of course, they need to show it. They need to give it to me, but I will give it to them back. But like I mentioned, They show that they have the capability. They show that they have the power not to be a beggar tomorrow. That's all I'm saying. So not to be a beggar, not to have thieves, not to have problems. So I want to see a good financial family that have responsibility, that have morality. And when they show me that money, okay, take my daughter. And then, of course, I will help the youngers. I will give them money because this money are for them. The boy's father, he will not take the money. I will not take the money. All the money are for the young. All our fortune, all our legacy is for the young. We give everything to them. We want to help them. But this is like I told you, this is something like always keep the tradition and keep us away from making mistakes. Because what I want to say, I will not like my son or my daughter to go a pub in the pub to have drink, get dizzy, and to think just for the moment, to meet someone, to make the mistakes, and after whole his life to be ruined. Because this is the most important things. I don't want they to ruin their lives. That's so the way how we did it. If of course in every family have a problems, in every family have risks, but this is the small devil. And if there is a help from men's parents, from wife parents, always helping together, find a solution for that risk, find a solution for that problems. And that's all 80%, 90%. It's very rare in our community someone to divorce. This is something like never happen, you know. And that's all. Even if sometime happen, people as because like I mentioned to you, we are close friends. We know each other, and let me say, I get I have friends that was being separated, but they after that they still are friends because they want to be friends. They want to be related each other. That's how the Christ, the Messiah comes because they don't want to have wars between families. That's so they are there to tell them, guys, calm down. Let's make it everybody to be happy. So when we meet together to be a society, to be together, to be always, so not to have problems. If and they're trying to find the problem. Where is the problem? Let's say the boy drinking alcohol, women, cocaine, stuff like that. Okay, your fault. You will have to charge for that. You will lose your rights. Or the girl, she cheat. She go find someone. You see, the meshere are separate from them, and they say, you are not correct. You're not supposed to do that because you done the wrong thing. We are here from 7 another families. It's not only one person. We have 3, 5, 7, depending of the heart of the case, how big is the case, more and more people. I remember there was a meshere from 200 people until they find a solution, a one decision that will be happy for both sides. So when they met each other to say, okay, my friend, forget about what it was. Your daughter can do whatever you want. My son can do whatever you want, but we still are friends. And that's it. So this is really important for us to keep the community calm, safe, and united.
Yes, my second question was, as you know, this is the marriage through elopement and abduction.
Sorry, what's elopement means? I don't understand that.
The marriage, especially by abductions, and the girl leaves the family. The elopement means that when the girl leaves the family and the girl, goes with the boy without the permission of the parents. So,
So I mean, when the girls married for outsider, that you mean, yeah?
not outsider.
When the girl
Maybe
gets married to someone without the parents' permission.
Okay, I get it now. Okay, I get it.
so.
Okay,
That's
let me explain about that. Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you. So in ancient times, let's say boy and girls, they really like themselves. And actually, this is a tricky part, because if a boy and girls like themselves, and let's say that there is a fight between the families and the elders, they doesn't like each other, they don't want to be together, but they still love. They can kidnap each other. Yes, the boy go into the girl's family and he kidnapped her, but kidnap means like not without her will. She just tell him, come take me and forget about the elder. So they do that. This is not really good, but sometimes when they really love each other, let's say them, most of our people, how we know each other, like I mentioned to you, no Facebook, no social media. Most of our people, we met on the weddings. And on the weddings, we know, we see, we watch. And let's say that they met there. And from that long, they starting to talk. Nobody forbidden that. But if they're falling in love and they said to their parents, okay, let's say to my father, Dad, I love that girl. Can you go there? And he said, no, I don't like these people. If I still want, I can kidnap her. And then if I, let's say, do the sex with her or something like that, or I tell them or lie them that we are together, they don't have the choice. They have to keep us together. And in the end, they always follow the young rules. But this is something that you need to have really big balls to do it. But it's not something that it was not been done. Yeah, they do it, but it's a rare time. To be honest, I met a new things these days. Usually the boy go and kidnap the girl, but now the girl have the initiator. She going to the boy, because like I mentioned, it's not so big rules now. Everybody has Facebook, everybody has TikTok. She's starting to text him, come on, come and meet me, come on, take me, I like you, he like him. And then if it doesn't help the parents, she is the introducing, no, how you call it, she's the way how she tell him, come on, come and take me. And they take each other and they starting living together. And even if there is a negotiation between the two families, if they decide, they still can live together. But they, in the beginning, will be not helped from the elders. Let me say, we decide that we'll be together. They go separate from the two families. They starting to live together. In the beginning, most of the time, the fathers of and parents of the both sides, they will say, okay, you done it without my permission, so live your own, help yourself. Let me see how you will live together. Let me see how you will handle it with your life. I will not gonna help you. I will not do anything for you. And they starting, if they think about, because this is the scary part. Because if you're a young guy, like 18, 20 years old, you're still going on school, you don't have career, you don't have your own house, you don't rent, you don't do anything. And if you decide to go outside of your family and you want to create you risk to be kicked out from your family and to start working, start doing your household by your own. If you are capable to do it, good luck. That they will say that I will, and they actually in the end they will help them. But in the beginning, if you have the balls, if you want to do that, and you don't want to follow my rules, that means that you are capable to help yourself and to do your own thing. So I wish you the best and do whatever you think. Nobody will stop you, but you will not have my legacy, let me say, because I remember one case like that. One father, his older one, he have two sons. One of the older one, exactly that happened. He didn't follow his father permission. He like a girl outsiders, and he said that I like her. I want to go marry him. And he said, okay, if you think that you are capable, because anyway he's the older one, Anyway, one day he will need to be separated from the family because the younger will get all the benefits from his house. And he said, when you wanted to be separate, go, but without my help. And now he is here in London. He is from Sofia. He's here. I helped him to find a place to live with his girlfriend, and now he's working. He's doing well. They still don't have children, but this Christmas I heard that he go back to his family house, and there's again family. But you see, in the beginning, it's not like forbidden. Actually, I don't like it. I don't want it. That's why I will punish him. Okay, you wanted to be separate from me, to be outsider. Goodbye. I will not help in your life. Help yourself. Sorry. And I wish you luck. But when he stand on his ground and he's still good, of course they are children. Of course they are ours. In the end, come son, let's we meet together. Doesn't matter your wife is a Bulgarian or English one or whatever. You're still my son. We'll be united. We'll be family. And with whatever I can help you, me, your younger brother will help. And that's what happened. That's all is forbidden. Is not allowed to because we don't want to. I want my son to get married for daughter from the same Kalderash caste. So to keep the same one because I know them that if I'm wrong, they will help me. If they're wrong, I will help them. So both of sides, my side, the boy's father, their side, the girl's father, we will help from both sides to this family to be together with financially, with advice, with whatever. But if he say, let me say, he go to Gajo, to a Bulgarian girl, okay, I will help as much as I can. But I'm 100% sure that the Gajo, the Bulgarian, they will not gonna help them. The normal society, they just trying to, when they become 18 years old, they kick them out from their place. They don't care for their children. And whatever they will do, they doesn't care. And I don't want from my daughter-in-law, their parents, their family, to not care for the young couples. I want them to help as much as I help. So both sides to think about their future.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dobromir. Do anyone else have any comments or question before we close the meeting? I don't see any hands or anybody wishing to take the floor. If there's nobody, then I'll take this opportunity to thank our speaker, Mr. Dobromir Trifonov, for an excellent presentation and answering to a number of questions and be very frank about the rituals and the customs which are followed by his community, and also sharing his personal impressions and experiences. That's really great.
Thank you, guys. I have one appeal to everybody. I really want, I have a dream where all the Roma, doesn't really matter what kind of caste, doesn't really matter where they come from, where they are from. I really want one day to call ourselves a nation. And when I go in front of the other society to tell them, guys, I'm a Roman. I'm proud to be Roman. To do that, we need to show them our beautiful of our culture. You see, this is so beautiful. When I explain them, guys, it's not like that. It's not a taboo. It's something that we keep it with the centuries. It's something that I hope that everybody in their family will do it. You see, because this keep you good for your family, because this is everything for the family. This is everything for the young. The future belongs to them. And if we don't care for our youngers, if we don't care for anything, we always will be like that. Everybody will treat us like criminals. Everybody will treat us like thieves, like beggars, like chatting to the system, and that's why I don't want to be put it for everybody in common sense, because when they said Roma, when they said Gypsy, when they said Gitanos, whatever code they think about it, they said, oh, these are bad people. They are not integrated into the system. They are really poor. They don't know what they do. They're trying to cheat the system. No, it's not like that. You don't know us. We have such a beautiful tradition. We keep ourselves together. We help each other. And I want everybody to know that. So when they meet me, I want my son, my grandson, my daughters, they to say, I'm proud to be called Roma because I'm much better than you. Because if you never take care for your elders, how many of the normal society they're taking care of such we are taking care? They send them into the hospital. They don't care. Even when they die, don't go on their funeral. It's nightmare. So, and we are so much care for the earth. I want to keep that tradition, to everybody to know about that, and to be proud to be called Roma.
Thank you very much for this beautiful idea, because see, basically we all know that Roma had a difficult time and they still continue to preserve and nurture their culture and their language and their rituals, which is very commendable. And they paid a big price for that. We would like the coming generation also to adhere to that. But also the other communities there is a change which is happening. Other communities also have to accept Roma as Romas and no
Exactly.
discrimination, and take them as a part of the bigger world where we live in. And we are very happy that you have these thoughts, and we would like Roma community also to come together. That's very important. The different groups, different sects should work for a common cause for the improvement of their community as a whole. And we have Mr. Grattan Paksan, who is
I hope that
also
we will succeed.
there,
Yes.
who has worked a lot for that. And we wish him success in his future conferences. And thank you very much. With this, we come to the end of the lecture, and we look forward to see you in our future, see you all in our future lectures.
I'll be always happy to help.
Thank you very much, everyone. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody.